Welcome to another ICP update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our Discord server. We try posting multiple updates a day. Sometimes we cannot really do that because, we still have things to do, but still, if you want to support the channel and if you want access to these charts, then make sure to check out the memberships. And yeah, let's see what's happening with ICP right now. As you can see, ICP got to the 200% extension right here, which was at $12.55, and it's getting a correction. Now, I don't think this correction is a fourth wave move down. The third wave move up does not look complete to me. I mean, this looks like an A, B, C structure or a 1, 2, 3 setup, and in my opinion, we still need a 4 and a 5. I really want the third wave to have 5 waves up, so we should probably overextend maybe to the 2.272 extension or the 2618 extension, so somewhere between $13.32 and $14.31 should be a good target zone for the third wave right here. Then of course I'm expecting a fourth wave move down, and the fourth wave move down, I will be able to give you a support zone for this once we actually get it. Now keep in mind, there is a bearish scenario, and that bearish scenario will play out if we get below $9.69, which is this high right here of the first wave. So if we get below that high, that will change a lot of things. That would also pretty much put us at the bull market support band, and that would pretty much invalidate the third wave right here and the setup that we have on the chart. So we don't really want to see a break below that level. That level is very, very important. We have to hold above it if we want to stay bullish. Now, we did get to the 200% extension right here, so you could say that the third wave is in and that this is the fourth wave, but you never know. And if that's the case, then the fifth wave should get to like $16, and I don't think that's possible. So we should probably just overextend in the third wave right here first, then we get the fourth wave move, and then the fifth wave puts us at like $16.04, which is the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup right here, and that will complete the third wave of this 1-2 setup. Then once we do that, we will need a fourth wave move down, as you know, and then a fifth wave move up needs to put us at $20.71, which is the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup, and that will complete the third wave of this 1-2 setup. So as you can see, things are actually very complicated right now, and ICP still has to go up quite a lot to be able to prove that the second wave move down right here is actually in. Now, we did hold support levels and we did bounce right here, but that's not really enough to confirm that the low is in. We need 5 waves up, as you know, and if you look at the bull market support band, we are still above it, so this is actually very, very good. And if we somehow invalidate the structure and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup, then we will most likely test the bull market support band again, and if we get below it again, I'm not going to say that I'm going to turn bearish, but I don't really want to see a break below the bull market support band right now, and honestly I don't see that happening. Now, why do I not see that happening? Well, because of Bitcoin. Now, what does Bitcoin have to do with this? Well, if you look at the Bitcoin chart, it's currently getting a correction, but as you can see on the RSI, the 4-hour RSI, Bitcoin is almost oversold, which leads me to believe that we will start getting a bounce again, like we did right here when we were also almost oversold, and right here as well, and right here as well, and right here as well. So I'm expecting the same thing to happen again. Now, if we somehow do not get a bounce, which seems very unlikely, because we are doing what we did right here, and right here, and right here, and right here. So I don't know why it would not happen again, but if we do not get a bounce, this is the support zone for the fourth wave move down. So a break below, let's say about, well, actually the 0.226 extension right here would confirm that a fourth wave is happening, and this is the fourth wave support zone. It's between $72,000 and $85,000. Now, like I said, the third wave could still overextend to the 300% extension, maybe the 3.272 extension, maybe even more. And keep in mind, Bitcoin does not usually go down in November during a halving year, so it's very unlikely that we start going down right now. I'm actually expecting Bitcoin to hit like 120k by the end of the year, maybe like 130k, maybe 150k, because if you look at what happened in the previous cycle in December, Bitcoin went up like 40% after it already went up like 40% in November, and it did the exact same thing in 2016 as well, but in 2016 we only went up like 5% in November, but we still went up in December. So If we follow what we did in the previous cycles, then Bitcoin should continue to go higher and higher, and the third wave should continue to overextend. And why is this important? Well, it's important because if Bitcoin starts bouncing right now, then of course ICP will also start bouncing, and we should get to the target zones right here. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. ICP has not really pumped as much as the other altcoins. Now, why is that? Well, first of all, we have to keep in mind that ICP has a much smaller market cap than most altcoins. It's currently at a market cap of about 4 or 5 billion, which is not really a lot. I mean, that was a lot in the previous cycle. If you looked at some altcoins that had a 4 billion or $5 billion market cap, they were pretty huge in the previous cycle, but right now they are not really that big anymore. Crypto is growing, so 4 or $5 billion is not a lot anymore. So if we want to get a real bounce on the ICP chart, we still need to get a correction on the Bitcoin dominance chart, and it needs to be a very sharp correction. As I've told you many times, there are some altcoins that do go up on their own, and ICP right now does not seem to be one of these altcoins. I mean, Cardano already went up quite a lot, yes, and some other altcoins also went up, even XRP went up. But don't worry, ICP's time will also come at some point, and when it does start pumping, then it's not gonna stop, because that's most likely gonna be the beginning of the altcoin season. So ICP is not behind, ICP is actually doing quite well, and keep in mind, people were saying the same bad things about Cardano when it was down here and when it was not doing anything, and all of a sudden we pumped, and right now people are buying Cardano up here instead of, buying down here. So I believe this is a very good buying opportunity. Now, of course, that's not financial advice, but me personally, I would buy down here if I did not already buy down here when we got to the support zone. Now, let me talk about my predictions again, in case you did not watch my previous videos. So I was talking about the 5 waves right here, which are the yellow 5 waves. The 5 waves should get to approximately, well, I don't know, maybe like somewhere between 25 and maybe $30 or $40. That will complete the first wave of the main third wave move to the upside. Now that's the main third wave of this very large 1-2 setup that we started all the way back in September of 2023. And the third wave is usually the most impulsive, and ICP needing a third wave right now makes sense, considering the fact that an altcoin season is also very close to happening. Usually when we do get an altcoin season, altcoins are already ready and are already in a 1-2 setup, and right now ICP is in a 1-2 setup, just like Cardano is, by the way. Cardano is in a 1-2 setup, Doge was in a 1-2 setup right here, and it's going for the third wave targets. So ICP will do the exact same thing as the other altcoins. It does not matter if it's later than the other altcoins. What matters is that I'm still expecting it to go up. Now, how high could it go? Well, that's really hard to say, because, it went down from like $87 all the way to like $2.80. So we don't know if it can recover to the all-time high or above the all-time high. We'll have to wait and see what happens. If we respect the Elliott wave count, then the third wave of this 1-2 setup should get to approximately $150, which is like a 13x or actually 14x from where we are at right now. And I know that's a lot, but it could theoretically happen, considering the fact that ICP has a much smaller market cap than the other altcoins. So if Bitcoin gets to a market cap of around $5 to $6 trillion by the end of the bull market, then of course ICP will also be able to go up like 20x from where we're at right now, maybe even more than that. But my minimum target is the 200% extension, which is at $150. But keep in mind, there's going to be a lot of resistance in this area right here. So if we want to get to these levels, we kind of have to get above these highs first. And it's going to be difficult, maybe even impossible, but who knows? It could theoretically happen. This is crypto after all, so we'll see what happens with that. If we somehow do not get to the 200% extension, I'm still expecting ICP to at least get to about $87 in this cycle. That's my bare minimum for this cycle. If you bought down here, then I think you would be okay with like an $87 top. I mean, that's like a what? A 15x? I think that's good. Don't get greedy. Remember, you're gonna have to sell at some point. Just don't hold your coins for too long, because you will lose money in the bear market. Now, again, that's not financial advice, blah, blah, blah. And that's pretty much all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon. Like I said, if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our Discord server, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.